So a few years back, I did something that a lot of smart people will tell you is just a flat out mistake. I took every dollar that we had and threw it at our mortgage month after month until the whole thing was just gone. It's been a little over 2 years now living with no mortgage at all. And I want to tell you the part that the paper math really just completely leaves out, because that's the part that actually changed my life. And real quick, this is for you, whether you're sitting on a bunch of home equity or you're staring down 30 years of payments that you can't even picture being done with. If you've got a mortgage at a low interest rate, the math basically says to keep it and pay the minimum and take that extra money that you would have thrown at the house and put it into the market instead. And then over enough years, the market probably earns more than your interest rate is costing you. So on paper, you do come out ahead, and it's a good argument. And I hear it a lot. I spend a lot of time in these online groups like on Reddit and places like that, personal finance. And there's always people in there saying, basically telling everybody, just don't pay off your mortgage. It doesn't make any sense mathematically. Invest that money instead. And the math says that you will come out ahead. And here's the thing, like, I'm a spreadsheet guy. That's basically my whole world. I am a math nerd as well. And I get it. I ran the numbers and I sat there and looked at everything. And yeah, technically, keeping that mortgage and investing the difference might have left me with more money somewhere down the road. Actually, I pretty much guarantee it would have, but I still did it anyway. I decided that I was going to invest in my peace of mind instead, and I literally do not regret it for one single second. So let me tell you what we actually did. Once we knocked out all of our other debt, like the cars and personal loans and everything else, we had about $190,000 left to pay on the house. And it took us about 3 years to wipe that out in full. Now, most of the extra money that I threw at it came from a side business that I had started. And I already can hear some of you saying, oh, he had a side business. Of course, he could pay his house off quicker. And you know what? That is fair. That business did take off to the point where I was able to walk away from an 11-year career with the federal government, and all of that money went to it. So yeah, that was an advantage. But nobody handed me that business. I built that myself from the ground up, from nothing. So if you're sitting there thinking you just don't have the extra money to do this, I really do hear you on that. But basically, that's the exact question that you need to go chase. Where is your extra money going to come from? Perhaps it is a side business, or maybe it's a second job, or even a third for a little while. You might have to do whatever it takes to free up some cash. The business itself is a whole other story for another time that I will tell you about in another video. But I want to be clear about the order in which we did things, because this part really matters, and a lot of people do get it wrong. We didn't throw every last dollar at the house and ignore everything else. We made sure that we were putting about 15% into our retirement. We have some Roth IRAs, and we also kept a little money going into our kids' college funds as well. It wasn't a ton, but we did invest in their college. And that stuff still came first before the mortgage. Whatever was left on top of that, instead of investing it and holding on to the mortgage, we pointed the money at the house instead. And during those house years, we were not living super strict. The really strict part, the no eating out and the no vacations, that was really back when we were trying to kill off that really bad debt, like the cars and the personal loans and things. But by the time we got to the house, we had loosened up a good bit. We weren't living so strictly financially. We'd go out to eat here and there. And I do remember going on a couple of vacations. We went out to Las Vegas, and I think we went to Disney during that time. Like, we didn't deprive ourselves to pay this house off. It just came down to taking the extra money and aiming it at the house instead of letting it sit somewhere else in an investment account. One thing that's kind of interesting is I pictured the day that we made the last house payment like it was going to be this huge thing, like fireworks going to be going off and we're going to be doing backflips in the yard and all that. But it really wasn't like that at all. The day it happened was kind of quiet and normal. It was very anticlimactic. There was no big rush of euphoria. It was just more like this calm realization that, hey, we actually did this. And what hit me wasn't really even about the house. It was more like if we could pull this off, which we did, we can now pretty much do anything we put our minds to. And by the way, if this is the kind of thing you want more of, just me kind of blabbering on about how we paid off the house and how we manage our money and how it worked for us, please can subscribe and stick around. I'll be making more videos like this. That's really the whole point of the channel. Just trying to be inspirational and let you know that you can do whatever you put your mind to. I'll also have some extra information down in the description below. But anyway, so, the big moment, it was kind of quiet. You might be wondering, where was the good part then? And like the happiness from this didn't show up all at once. It showed up slowly. It crept up over the next couple of years, really. Like the first time that we got to the end of that next month and there was no more mortgage payment coming out of our account. That was a really nice feeling. I remember sitting there looking at our checking account and just breathing this sigh of relief. Wow, the money that's in here that's left over is ours. All of that money, we no longer had to worry about paying it off to a bank. And that feeling just kept building. Our savings was continuing to grow, and our safety net and our path to freedom was growing. And we did have some retirement investments, and we have some other side investments, and they kept growing as well. So the money stress that I've been carrying around for years, it was just melting off as time went on. And honestly, I sleep really well at night too. That was a huge thing. I'm not lying awake every night running numbers through my head anymore. And I'll tell you where I'm at today. I do work a job that pays me a lot less than I could be making, and I did that on purpose. It's super low stress. It's flexible. I'm home all the time. I almost feel like I'm retired, to be honest with you, and I'm really not. I'm out here on my front porch on a work day. Nice weather, sunny. I get to sit out here and record these videos because I have the freedom to do this now. I can literally do anything I want with my day, and there's just no way I could say that if I still had the mortgage hanging over me. And this right here is the part that the spreadsheet never really shows. When I'm sitting out here on my porch, looking out over the pond over here, and a piece of property that is 100% mine, nobody can ever take that away from me. I'm not thinking about the extra few percentage points that I could have made on my investments. That thought does not even cross my mind, not even once. What I got instead was peace, and I got it a lot quicker than most people because I prioritized the mortgage. Maybe with a few less dollars in the account than the online math people would tell you, but I got to that piece way faster, and that means more to me than any numbers on a spreadsheet. Here's the misconception I think a lot of the math spreadsheet people have. They think that the more money you stack up, the happier you're automatically going to be. And I get that. Money does buy happiness. I actually fully agree with that. But there's a point where one more dollar just stops buying you any more peace. And I think I hit that point a whole lot sooner just by owning the house outright. Now, I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money. That's just what we did, and that's how it worked for us, and that's how we think about it. There are flies out here everywhere. I don't know if you can see them in the video. But anyway, so if you've got an emergency fund already in place and you're investing for the future and you want to keep that low mortgage rate and run the math, that could be a totally smart move. The math people are not wrong about the numbers at all. And that's probably why you're here on this video, because you've heard both sides of this. I'm not anti-investing, not even a little. Pretty much all of our cash goes into investments. I have a very large investment account now. But the difference is now I'm doing it from a place where I'm already free. So whatever that money does is just a bonus. I don't even need it to hit like a single target all the time. I'm not squeezing every percentage point because I'm not really depending on it to save me anymore. I'm already free. And if you're on the other side of this, if you're buried right now and paying off the house sounds like a total fantasy, I really want you to hear me because you are not behind. This whole thing happens one boring extra payment at a time. That's all it ever was for us. So at the end of the day, here's what I want to leave you with. The math can tell you the smartest thing to do with your money, but it cannot tell you what's finally going to let you sleep at night. For me, owning my home free and clear was worth more than being right on a spreadsheet. And I would do it again in a heartbeat. Now, if you want to actually hear how we freed up the money to pull all this off, I did walk through this in another budget video. I'll pop it up here on the screen somewhere, hopefully, or by the end of the video so you can find it. It's also in the description. It's all part of this series that I'm trying to build on here. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this was insightful. Again, my name is Steve, and I will see you in the next one.